Hey folks, my name is Jürgen, aka Not I'm Proud of It, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today to discuss if the 7 curios discovered in Gothic represent the 7 deadly sins. I caught myself in a video a couple of weeks ago. I watched the video recently again, and I caught myself mentioning that the 7 curios might represent the 7 deadly sins, because there weren't any additional curios discovered, and that number seemed odd to me, and it would fit the Gothic theme very well. So I might be one of the first ones to actually recognize this. I have seen rumors about this online as well, but I really wanted to dive into this and match the cards to the deadly sins and see if we are onto something here. I think this is a very, very interesting subject. Sorcery Sunday, folks. As you know, every Sunday I'm making a sorcery video, and if you are one of the supporters, you will find yourself here on the screen amongst the supporters, my Patreons, my YouTube channel members, my general supporters. And if you are looking to support the channel, it really would help, it honestly would, then I have the information put on the other side where you can find the links towards Discord. And honestly, if you are up for it, only if you are, for Patreon and the YouTube channel membership, it really would help and support the channel. So maybe check that out if you can, only please. But the 7 deadly sins, I'm gonna switch to a few. We're first gonna quickly discover and discuss what the deadly sins are, and then we're gonna try to match the Gothic Curios to those 7 deadly sins and see if it actually fits. So here we go, folks. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, leave a like, leave a comment. That helps a lot as well. You don't have to be a Patreon or YouTube channel member to support the channel. You can just hit like, hit the comment button, and type in something if you like the video or not, and then I know you have been actually watching this. So that would be cool. So let's have a look at the 7 deadly sins first. Alright, folks, so these are the 7 deadly sins. These are the worst things you can do in the Catholic Church, the worst sins you can commit if you are a Christian. We got wrath on the top left, we got pride in the middle on the top, we got envy on the top right, we got greed on the bottom left, lust second to the left on the bottom, sloth. I had to look that one up. I thought I thought I knew what it means, but I had a rough idea, but I had to look it up first, especially because I wanted to connect it to the sorcery curio correctly, if my theory is correct, but it had to make sense. And then we got gluttony, of course. So, of course, who doesn't know this? I think this is kind of interesting, and I think these are, commonly known as the 7 deadly sins. I had looked it up, and initially there were like 8, but I think they kind of combined pride and vanity. I personally would see one of the curio cards more like a vanity card, but a pride card is a different one, so I went with pride here. And again, this is kind of the common list when it comes to the 7 deadly sins. So how do we connect the 7 deadly sins to the 7 curios in Gothic? I think the most obvious one might be the fallen angel. Everybody knows the saying, pride comes before the fall, and that of course is very true for the fallen angel. I even believe my knowledge about Christian, is it mythology? Could you call it that? I think for them it's real. It's mythology. About Christian mythology or Christian lore is that the angels that are pride or show pride are cast out of heaven. So in this case, pride comes before the fall for the fallen angel. It's interesting that the painting kind of seems upside down. The hell on top and the clouds of the heaven below, but that might be a curio thing where everything is turned upside down or the opposite. Anyways, you never know. The second one, which is pretty clear to me, must be Desecrate. I think the curio on the left again, the regular card on the right, I think this represents wrath, And what else could represent wrath better than somebody being tortured for something they have done, above an altar even? And in the end, I think this was a pretty easy connection as well. You actually might know that the Desecrate could also be a reference towards Unholy Strength from Magic the Gathering. In the alpha version, there was a pentagram in the Unholy Strength, and that was removed in the later versions. I think as from Unlimited, I believe. I think it might have been there in beta as well. I have to look it up. But here you got the regular version that has the pentagram, and the normal curio, the special curio does not have the pentagram. But yeah, Wrath for the Desecrate. The next curio I try to connect to a deadly sin is the Gift of the Frog. It might be that the frog on the right on the regular card is envious of the frog on the left with the ribbon, but I also remembered the saying green with envy, and I actually got a card once. I think somebody congratulated me to a new job, and they had a card with a frog on it that said, I'm green with envy, and then in the card it said, it was meant in a funny way, of course, in the card it said, yeah, congratulations with your new job. But honestly, that might be, a little out there, but in the end, I think it is the card that best connects to envy. So, what do you think? Does Gift of the Frog represent envy or not? Is the frog on the regular card envious about the frog on the curio? Yeah, you never know. I'm curious about this curio and curious what you think about this curio. Then we do have the City of Glass. And the City of Glass is an interesting one. I personally connected it to Vanity, but as I explained in the beginning, Vanity kind of went away over the hundreds and hundreds of years these deadly sins have been written down in the Catholic Church. So for the city, I actually would choose greed as the corresponding deadly sin, because greed often is connected to material wealth. And what does show material wealth better than a whole city made out of glass? Something which is obviously very expensive and very difficult to achieve, and only reserved for the most greedy and wealthy out there. So I think that would actually make a nice representation for this curio. Then a very interesting curio here, the Realm Eater. I think the card is a card Eric drew himself for a deck back in the day, and now it has made its way into Gothic as a curio. The Realm Eater on the right, the regular card, looks really, really cool. I think Sean D, I hadn't heard of that artist before, makes a lot of awesome art in Gothic. But obviously the Realm Eater would represent gluttony. And gluttony, gluttony, difficult word for me, means overconsumption, or everything that is done in excess. And as the Realm Eater devours whole realms, that of course could easily be I even have time to correct my mistake in this one. Oh man, that would easily can easily be connected to gluttony. Yeah, let me know if you agree. For the next one, sloth. The current definition would be, today it can be defined as the absence of interest. And originally, however, Christian theologians, very difficult word, believed it to be the lack of care for performing spiritual duties. And I had a kind of a bit of a difficulty connecting this one to a curio when I had a look at the list first and had a look at the 7 curios. But once I read about the spiritual duties, I think the Gossamer Ghost stood out as the corresponding curio for this deadly sin. I think the artwork of Elvira Shakirova is really, really cool. I think the artwork of Drew Tucker is awesome. A lot more appealing to me personally. No diss towards Elvira Shakirova. She's a fantastic artist, but I kind of love Drew Tucker, as you know, and I think he is not only an amazing artist, but an amazing person as well. So I am very happy for him that he was able to draw this curio. Might not have been intentional, he might just have delivered a couple of pieces of artwork and Eric just has chosen this one for the curio. I need to ask Drew if he actually knows a little more about that curio and how it came to be. I'm very, very curious again about this curio. I love this connection. And last but not least, we got the manor at Dapperel Hill, and I personally think this represents lust. We obviously have a giant bed in the background above the manor, and that represents a vampire, and vampires are often connected to lust, and often are part of sexual fantasies. We of course got the 666 on the curio as well. Wine, everything part of 666. The devil often lures in people. Often that was very German. I'm sorry for that. Often lures in people with lust or lustful activities. He tries to corrupt them, but yeah, I think this makes an easy and good connection to lust, the deadly sin lust. Yeah, folks, that was my way of connecting the 7 curios of Gothic to the 7 deadly sins. You see, it got dark outside while I was recording this video. I'm almost not visible anymore. Kind of fits the theme, of course. I'm not planning to commit any of the deadly sins, no worries. But I'm honestly curious, and I'm using this word for the 3rd time, or the connection, curious about the curios. I think we should be curious about the curios. Maybe they are chosen, the name is chosen curio, because we are all curious how many are out there and how these are connected. But I'm very curious what you think about the connection between the 7 deadly sins and the curios. Would you have chosen the same? Like I said, I was a bit doubtful about the City of Glass. Personally, vanity would have fit very well for me for this one too. Pride is connected to vanity, but pride I connected to the fallen angel, so that was not left for the City of Glass anymore, and I think it fits better to the fallen angel. So there is some room for interpretation, but this would be my list. Would it be the same for you? Do you even think it makes sense? Let me know in the comments, and yeah, I see you next Sorcery Sunday. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely did. I put a lot of time in this video, believe it or not, looking up all the deadly sins, trying to connect them to the curios, reading the descriptions on Wikipedia obviously, but online as well, like the original meanings of the Catholic Church for some things and how that would connect, especially for sloth and the spiritual aspect of it with the Gossamer ghost. So yeah, I'm honestly happy I still can make these kind of videos, and I obviously hope you enjoy watching them. Stay healthy, stay frosty. I talk to you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.